afternoon. Did that sound froggy? I feel like it sounded froggy. Hi, you clicked here and entered my magical world. Periwinkle Palace Arts. that's us. I'm Princess Bun Bun, and I'm here with my bunnies. We do art here when we're not having massive technical difficulties. But we're gonna work it out. Look, I'm not having a good day here, but I showed up. Whatever happens, happens. I need to do my nails because psoriasis and overlays are starting to lift at the edges, and I don't want to, but I need to, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, or at least start on it. I don't know. Anyway, I've decided we're gonna go with this purple look with this it's like a color shift. It's a blue opal pearl color shift. We're going to use that, and we're going to use these butterflies nail wraps from where? Oh, Nail Fox. I'll put the I'll tag them in the description below. I think they're really pretty and delicate, and I think they'll look nice with a basic, or maybe not so basic. I never know how this is gonna go. I really don't. All right. Yeah, we're gonna mess around till it's how we want it. Okay. Maya says hello. Maya's second favorite thing to do is nail arts. Coloring is first. If you haven't met her before, this is my fibromyalgia bunny. She's very sweet, and I've been holding her all through lunch. And also, I have Fydgets. Fydgets is my electric pink anxiety bunny. And we're in it today, aren't we? She wears this cute little dress. She likes it a lot. It startled me. I can't hear anything. But yeah, the anxiety is on a very high level today, and we're struggling, but I have to do my nails, so we're gonna do this. Hold on a moment.
She's back.
Back again?
She's back. I have no friends.
Oh, no.
That's a joke. I have lots of friends.
I know. They didn't need you today?
They're waiting on confirmation that I'm hired.
Okay. It could be frustrating, but, you know, there's systems they have to go through.
I mean, I signed the W-4.
Right. I understand that. They just have to figure out where they want to put you on the schedule. Stuff like that. Okay? I'm trying really hard today. So, do you need anything from me?
No.
Okay. Remember, I can't hear you. Love you. He's trying so hard. He wasn't on the schedule today, I don't think, and they were supposed to call him, but they didn't, so he just went up there anyway. Which is an excellent work ethic. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run through around my cuticles and gently push back my cuticles. Okay. I was trying to decide if I'm going to use this drill bit, and I think I'm not. It is my favorite to use, but my hands both aren't that steady right now, and sometimes I need a ball bit. If I can open this. And I'm gonna get this pretty small one here. And I'm gonna grab this long one. It has a bit of a point, but it's more rounded. I may need to change that out a few times, but we'll see. I like to always check and make sure this isn't damaged underneath. I feel so bad for Jules right now. He just sent a text message that said, I just want to work. It's understandable. Okay, I know that that looks crazy to people who have used nail drills because it looked crazy to me. There's supposed to be a thing you twist here, not on this drill. This is a Melody Susie drill. I absolutely love it. It's very lightweight, it's very slim, and it really does hold the bit in there once you put it in. So we're gonna turn it on. I pretty much always use it on the 0-1 setting, which that's the setting. It's about 1,000 RPMs. And let's just see how my hands are today. I'm going to say this right here at the top of the video. I am not a professional. I am not a professional. I am not doing a tutorial here. I'm not teaching anybody how to do this because I am not a professional at this. This is what I have learned to do it for my skin issues, my nail issues. It's been a trial and error process for many years. I have taught myself a lot. I could probably take the test. No, I couldn't. But I've learned from some very knowledgeable people on YouTube. I don't do other people's nails. I only do my own nails. And I do them in a way that is not necessarily correct. But I use the products I use, and I use them in the way I use them because I've found they work. Sometimes they stop working. Sometimes I do it wrong. This is just me chatting while I do this. I absolutely hate doing this part. I don't like it at all. But this is the part I have to do the most work at. Is the cuticle care. I have psoriasis. It's pretty severe. Sometimes there's nothing I can do about it, but there are things I can do to help mitigate the seriousness of it, I guess, how bad it gets. I take Otezla. I have a therapy lamp. I don't use it all the time. I use it when things get really bad. And even then, it can only do so much. If you're having a flare-up, you're having a flare-up, and it is what it is, basically. But this is what I have learned to do for myself. I can give, excuse me, y'all. I'm having a day. I feel like I can't breathe. I hope you guys can see, at least. My voice is crackling and popping like Rice Krispies today. if it feels like, oh my gosh, she's doing that so fast, why? Well, there's two reasons. One, because I've practiced this a lot, and because I don't do it exactly right. I basically use this as if I am using a Dremel to carve wood, except I'm a lot more careful and a lot more light-handed. The other reason that I kind of go fast is because this builds up heat. I can touch my skin with this and it's not going to do anything. But you notice how I keep moving it around? I'm not pressing down hard and I'm moving it around. If I were to press hard or press and hold it, which I'm not going to do, my fingers can't handle the damage, press and hold it for a long period of time, well, not even a long period of time, for longer than, that, the heat will build up and it will burn you. It just will. It's science. So I try very hard to keep my my bit, my tool, moving over my skin and nails. You don't want to stop. And I know it looks like I'm scrubbing really, really, really hard. And I know I said I was gonna take a cuticle pusher to my nail, but I don't think my hand can handle that holding the way I have to hold the cuticle pusher right now. So we decided to go with the electric drill instead. Here I'm just going up and down across my cuticle, or sometimes in a circle. Usually I trim my cuticles, but sometimes my skin will peel in a certain way and I will need to not trim them for a few weeks, and instead I use a cuticle bit instead of using the pointier tool so much, because sometimes my skin needs to be more sanded than it needs to be trimmed off. I don't know if that makes any sense. And the key here is to not go fast, but just to keep moving, basically. We're not putting pressure. We're letting the tool do the work here. I've got a big little clip of skin right there that needs to come off. I'll probably have to clip that. I'm not the average consumer here of these products. I don't hold things correctly. I very rarely use the fast forward and reverse button on my nail tools because I'm left-handed and I do things both ways, and I use this thing like it's a Dremel, like I said. There's certain movements that I can't do against my skin, and there's certain things that I can do that you can't normally. But that's because, I mean, I couldn't do this to anybody else. I don't know what I was trying to say, y'all. I forgot that train of thought. My cows, my cows of thought got run over by my train. I always say that wrong. It's a thing my husband says. Uh, Another really key thing for me is that I use my tool on very low RPMs, extremely low. This is as low as this particular tool can go. Now I have my green one that I use on, I think, 4,000 RPMs for that one. If you ever want to know what I'm listening to without breaking copyright, I have a little box on the screen there for you that has my Spotify mini player on a screen share. Sometimes I sing and dance. It's not really pretty, but it is what it is. So, this hand is starting to go numb. Vibration's not good, but I spilled some polyurethane on my anti-vibration gloves like ages ago, and I don't know why. I guess I just haven't got around to it. I don't have any. It dried on there and dried in like a crumpled up mess. And I haven't purchased another set. I should probably do that. Do I have to sit here and wait for my hand to like stop being weird? This hand started to go a little numb too. Oh, I gotta watch that one a little bit later because I really have to pay attention to that one. It ought to be good. It's Gavin Newsom and Jasmine Crockett. Is that her name? I don't know. They argue people really well. So, we don't go for perfection here. We just, we do the thing. We just get it done, right? I promise that is not dirt under my fingernails. I have washed, scrubbed, and exfoliated my nails and hands before I came back from lunch. Did Russia strike Poland? I'm trying to make sure you guys can see. Now, I mention this whenever I do my nails because I'm left-handed, and that means that this hand is always going to look worse. And sometimes it often is actually worse. Objectively, subjectively. Would that be objectively? Yeah, it would be worse. Technically, it is. I've just learned to accept that, you know? I think a lot of times in life we get so caught up in doing something right that we overstress the importance of the details. Right? Um, in this situation, and in a lot of situations, I guess, and I'm guilty of it myself, like so much. Um, this is what I'm here for, though, to do the art and just talk these things out in my head, right? If I'm more concerned with making sure everything is so right, I'll never get my nails done, man. Will I? And so we have to let go of that perfectionism. It's okay if this hand wobbles a little bit, you know? I just try to keep as much control of it as possible. I am not good at this, to be honest. I'm not good at it, and I don't like it. But also, having psoriasis, I've had to accept that it's almost impossible to get a perfect manicure. Like, it's just. But I do it so often that I don't have to be perfect all the time. I'll catch that bit next time, you know? I can still make them look pretty good. I make them look pretty enough that I can tell myself that I was rewarded for doing this part. Now I get to look at pretty nails. Woo! Who's gonna love? I gotta tell you, like, I know we've all heard that thing about if you can't do something right, don't do anything at all. I take issue with that saying. You're not good at everything. Not everybody's like great at everything. You don't have to do everything perfect. Sometimes just getting a job done is enough. Like, I get the job done here, right? It's not great. But I do this part, and I'm not great at this part, honestly. I'm not. But I'm passable. But I'm pretty good at the art part, usually. And that's what I'm here for, is the art part. This is my weird finger. I have a big knot right here from my arthritis, and also my psoriasis flares up around that spot. So, especially on this side of my middle finger right here, the skin's just all whack. I've given up on it ever looking quite normal. It's okay. As long as it's not snagging on things and hurting, I can deal with it. Y'all still with me? Awesome. Still with me. All right. I gotta rest for a second. My hand is starting to go numb. But my whole point is like, don't choose to not do something just because you're not good at it. First of all, you're never going to be good at it the first time. You won't be good at it the 50th time. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Just keep doing it. You'll get good at it. And the second thing is enjoy it. If it's something you enjoy and you're not good at it, or it doesn't come out perfect, don't fret. Just enjoy it. I don't enjoy this. I try. I try to enjoy it. Um, I enjoy how far I've come uh, in teaching myself to do this because, well, I'm not going to say that I won't hurt myself today. I just said it, didn't I? Oh, doggone it. Just, you don't have to do something perfectly to get the job done. Don't stress over it. My goodness. Here we go. I used to do, I guess you would call it what manicure? A normal manicure? I don't know. But I do dry manicures on myself now because my skin is super sensitive and it just works better for me if my skin isn't wet. That's why you don't see me soak my hands in anything beforehand. In fact, I do everything I can to dry out the nail and my cuticle before I do the manicure because drying it out allows me to see where the actual dead skin is that needs to be removed. It turns white. Whatever turns white is not live skin. Okay. Okay, that's about as good as I'm gonna get right now with that part. Brush it off really good. Yep, that does not look pretty right now. I'm getting pretty tired. But I need to do this. But I'm pretty tired. That's not even close to centered. Alright. So the next step is hand filing. Let me grab my favorite file. It's an old one. That's a newer one. It's my McCart 180 240. That's 180. That's 240. I'm gonna use the the 240 side because I've already filed these to the shape and size. I just need to smooth them out. Really, dog? I'm just smoothing them, making sure they're level. Level enough anyway. And if I wanted to, I could file back here, but I'm not going to. Actually, yes I am, because I'm gonna need to buff these off anyway. So yes I am. Oops. This one I need to file up here because it's got that little bump right there. And I'm just basically going to kind of tilt my fingernail file like that. I'm only going over the back of it. And I don't want to file these too much. I do have to buff them, remove the shine. Otherwise, the gel won't stick when I go over it. I usually only do a couple of fingers at a time. That way, if I have to, I can stop. This process also helps me to make sure everything's nice and level on the top. Because once you filed away everything that shines, you know that it's pretty much perfectly smooth. Check my length. So you can see here, I did not handle all of this area. It's at a certain point you have to leave it alone. The psoriasis. Alright, I'm gonna work on the middle finger too. And again, I'm using the 240 side, which is the finer grit side of this file. Alright, there was a little bit of bulk that was pointing up right there, so I just removed that. And now we're gonna spray the nails with rubbing alcohol. Where's my tiny paper towels? Okay. So we spray it, kind of wipe it off with a dry paper towel. Now I'm going to spray the paper towel and use that to clean, wipe it down really good. I make sure I get underneath. This is about making sure you're going to have good adhesion on your overlay. That's all of the coffee drinks I'm allowed to have today. What is next? Okay, prep and clean. Yes, I do both that and the rubbing alcohol. I need my nails to be super dry. I don't want moisture in them. I'll re-moisturize them after I go through this process. Okay, so now we're going to use this IBD Power Bond Gel Bonder. It is not an acid nor a non-acid primer. It is actually not a product that etches the nail. It's more like a glue accelerator or something like that. I kind of scrub that into my nail. And make sure I get underneath the nail and on the free edge. And I let that air dry. It takes about 2-3 minutes. Pardon me while I find something else to watch. Jesus. Why not? We'll have some Bailey Sarian. Once it kind of turns shiny, you can tell that it's dried enough. I'm going to start with a super thin layer of the IBD Gel Nail Builder. Very, very thin layer. You gonna live? So I just let that kind of move around a little bit. It self levels. I like to hang it upside down like this. And then when you turn it back up, it basically flattens itself out. 60 seconds in the lamp. This is the boring part. Are we having fun yet? No? Me neither. Okay, I fixed that nail. It's basically done. It just needs a top coat. My my energy level just rock bottomed out. So I'm going to basically just finish this nail with the top coat. Like, I like to keep my overlays super thin, and that actually came out pretty perfect. And I use rubbing alcohol to clean off the sticky inhibition layer. I usually let it sit and dry for a second and then I clean it again, because sometimes it feels like there's still sticky on it after it dries. And I find this works better for me than acetone or any kind of cleanser solution. It's just 91% alcohol. I use it for everything. Okay, so let that dry. And then we're gonna put the top coat on it. We're gonna cure that. Then I'm gonna get out of here. I don't really have the energy to do much else today. check the finger, make sure there's no gel on the skin, and then nuke it. Okay. So, I guess tomorrow we will finish these overlays and start applying the nail wraps and the polish. I've just gone as far as I can today. And that happens sometimes. The point, the important thing is to show up. And show up and do whatever we can get done. That's all you can do. And we have one thumb completely finished. Yay. Alright, folks. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I know it was a pretty low-key day. Not every day is gonna be exciting. No, really, I just used all my energy on putting my studio back together this morning, so I didn't get to go as far as we wanted to today. That's alright. This has been Periwinkle Palace Arts, my place on the internet. Princess Bun Bun. Don't forget the bunnies. Goodbye. Y'all have a beautiful day.